On this edition of Locked on Astros, a bonus edition, you'll hear Justin Verlander, what he had to say about his first rehab start, getting back on the mound on this bonus edition of Locked on Astros.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked on Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked on Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
Physically great. Obviously not the best results, but I don't think that's the most important thing today. Came out of it the way I would have liked physically.
So what was your goal going into today other than maybe just coming out okay physically, and did you feel like you accomplished that?
Yeah, I think, yes, I did accomplish goal number one, which is throw 65 pitches and feel healthy. The second goal, I think, obviously in an ideal world, you go out there and your timing's right and everything's right where you want it to be, but that's not super realistic. So timing was a little off. Some of my pitches were a little erratic, and that's one of those things that just time on the mound is the only thing that can really help resolve that.
You used the challenge system a couple times.
Yeah.
You like it? What was that like?
I liked it today. It's 2 for 2.
So after the inning where you gave up some runs, you came back, bounced back, and got 3 up, 3 down. Is that stuff you want to see in these starts? You're able to come back, you're able to bounce back, you're not so much worried about those things?
Not really worried about it, to be honest. The one negative of simulated games, which we've been doing, is you don't really have long innings, so it was nice to go out there and have a 29-pitch inning. You obviously don't want to do that, but that's going to happen in season, so to be able to check that box and respond well from that, work through some jams, work out of the stretch, and then come back out and, like you said, kind of reestablish your rhythm a little bit. With that, obviously not negative.
Were you happy with how you were able to basically recover in between innings?
Yes, very.
Do you think your change up a little more often than usual? Is that something you're working on, and how did it feel?
Yeah, definitely working on it, and the results were awesome. About as good as I could have expected. I think I got through one lawn dart. Other than that, I think 2 or 3 swing and misses and one off the cap from the lefty. So, that was ideal.
Justin, what are your thoughts on just the big club and how they've gotten off to this start here?
Yeah, I think it's obviously you never want to get off to a bad start. You'd rather get off to a good one, but it's difficult. You look at a lot of those games, and I think you got to stay positive. I think you look at the first series against the Yankees, and we were tied or winning in the 7th, and I think almost all those games except for one. Blue Jays, could have swept, and it's just like one little thing here and there isn't quite right or going a little wrong, and then on the flip side, we're not quite capitalizing on some big moments that we have, and but like I said, I don't think there's anything to panic about. These guys know how to win. I haven't been around them the last couple days, obviously. A couple tough games in Dallas, but these guys know how to respond to adversity, and I'm sure that they'll do just that.
19 years later, to be continuing to be pitching and going out there and performing, I talked to Alex Bregman. He calls you the Tom Brady of baseball, and that you're a freak athlete. So how do you view that to keep going out there, keep being able to perform, and keep going out there and being able to get it done?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Just a lot of work behind the scenes. Ideally, when you're out there performing, you make it look easy, and that's the goal. And when in reality, not many people get to see behind the curtain and see how much work goes on behind the scenes, and how much time you take away from your family, and how much stress you put your body through, and all the stuff that extends your runway as long as possible. Try to be smart. Try to be very tactical about my approach with how I work out, how I pitch, how I do everything, and you put that all together, and hopefully can keep pitching for a while.
Justin,
This bonus episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. That's right. Are you struggling to close deals? Business-to-business selling is tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date, first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. So right now, you, superstars like you, can try LinkedIn Navigator, Sales Navigator, and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. That's linkedin.com/lockedon for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon and get started.
Justin, what are your thoughts on just the last couple of days? We've seen a bunch of pitchers go down with injuries. There's been blame on both sides. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's tough. I think the game has changed a lot. I think it'd be easiest to sit here and blame the pitch clock. I think in reality, you put everything together, and everything has a little bit of influence. I think the biggest thing is the style of pitching has changed so much. Everybody's throwing as hard as they possibly can and spinning the ball as hard as they possibly can. It's hard to deny those results. Obviously, how can you? It's a double-edged sword. How can you tell somebody to go out there and not do that when they're capable of throwing 100? So this young guy comes up and throws a pitch 95 and gives up a big homer, and everybody's like, "What the hell, man?" So something needs to change. I don't have all the answers. I know pitching. I don't want to beat a dead horse here. It is what it is. I think the data's out there at this point. But when the balls started to change back in 2016, they started flying out a bit more frequently. I know myself personally that started changing how I had to approach pitching. You have to start swinging. You have to start approaching the batter as I want swing and miss. I can't have him put the ball in play where the old adage, pitch down, pitch away from the guy, hit your spot, get weak contact early in the count, and then you can kind of go up, and that kind of went out the window when everybody started being able to leave the yard, especially opposite field. And look, like I said, I'm not here to. I've said my piece on that before in the past, and it is what it is. As long as we're all out here competing on an even playing field, that's what I care about, and we all have the same baseball in our hands, so that's that. But I do think that you throw that in the mix, and you throw analytics in the mix, and you throw the pitch clock in the mix, and it all kind of, adds up. And it's unfortunate. I don't know how we rewind the clock. Maybe there's some sort of way to incentivize starting pitching, going deeper in games. I remember I talked to Scherzer at length last year with the Mets, and we talked about having the starting pitcher be tied to a DH, and having you have to achieve certain milestones before. If the pitcher comes out and he hasn't achieved any of those milestones, you lose your DH. So at least the team is incentivized to teach their pitchers to go through the lineup 3 times. Whereas right now, nobody's incentivized to do that. No teams are incentivized to tell their pitcher, okay, let's go through the lineup 3 times. Let's navigate a lineup. Those aren't conversations that are had anymore. Nobody's fault. It's just the nature of the game where it's at right now. But if that mind shift switches and teams start incentivizing, okay, how do we get guys out 3 times? Because right now, 3rd time through the lineup, they're looking for an excuse to take you out. Because analytically, it says that batters have more success 3rd time through. So I can't sit here and blame anybody. But the second that you start incentivizing pitchers staying in the game longer, throwing 110 pitches, throwing 100 pitches, navigating the lineup, then the trickle down permeates all the way to Little League baseball. Everybody's trying to get to this level. So you want to go play D1, now you got to throw hard and you got to spin the ball well. You want to go to the minor leagues, you got to throw hard, spin the ball well. And it all starts from here down. The second that you start incentivizing pitching and guys are getting drafted because they can pitch and get guys out, then that goes down a level, and then down a level and down a level. And I just hope that we don't wait too long, because it's obviously a pandemic and it's going to take years to work itself out, because everybody right now, Little League on, go look no further than Instagram. I can't look at my Instagram feed without seeing some kids trying to learn how to throw as hard as they can at 10 years old. I sure as hell didn't do that. I didn't figure it out until college. I matured into my body. I was, I say it all the time. If I came up in today's world, I don't know what would happen. My mechanics were a little different. I was tall, lanky, lean, skinny, lean, weird, kind of hadn't hit my maturity. Went to college, didn't get drafted, went to college and kind of grew into myself. And all of a sudden started throwing hard. But it wasn't because I did some, program to make me throw harder. So it's hard. Hard question.
Yeah.
I gave you a long
I
answer.
appreciate the answer.
I obviously have thought about it, yeah.
What's next for you as you continue, getting back, and what are you trying to kind of accomplish?
What's next is tomorrow. See how I bounce back, see how I feel, and have a conversation with the team, and hopefully set up another rehab start. I think you'd have to talk with them about what they ideally want to see before I step on a big league mound, but today was a great step forward for me.
You've been going basically every 6 days in between the last couple lives and this. Would you like to get on a 5-day schedule pretty soon?
Not ideally. I think this is one of the benefits of, as you mentioned, being my 19th year. I think my body knows how to go on 5 days, and right now recovery is something that's really important for me. I need to make sure I'm bouncing back, and I think the worst thing would be to go out there and try to do something I'm not quite ready for, when getting back to 100% has been something that's at times through this build-up process hasn't been something that's been 100%. So I don't need to check that box before I'm able to do it in a big league game. And if you look at the schedule coming up in the season, there's a lot of built-in off days. That's also the benefit of how the seasons have changed. I think 4 or 5 years ago they added a lot of extra off days. I don't know how many it was, 3 or 4, but it feels like a lot because on a 5-man rotation you get that extra day quite often. And so, I don't think it's something I need to do just now.
Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights and to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV that provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well free and live TV. Whether it's opening day for baseball or a college basketball tournament, or you're going to the NBA playoffs, you want to have Fire TV. That's right. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes all of us at Locked On. And let me tell you, local experts like myself and Eric show up. You type in sports, you type in Houston Astros, and we're some of the first shows that pop up. March Madness is over, but the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. The NHL is heating up, and they're nearing their postseason here not too long from now. And not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. So check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. To learn more, go to Amazon.com/Locked On Fire TV today.
So Justin, back in 22, when you're on on your World Series run, I had the opportunity to meet your parents. And they talked about you growing up and like how much that you learned from them and how much they instill within you. How is that taking you to this point?
Well, obviously, my parents instilling my work ethic and stuff like that. Yes, it's something that them always being there, showing up for me. Something that I think as a parent now I appreciate, just the investment of time, and I think also understanding that I had a gift in cultivating that with any means that they had necessary. We weren't super well off. But they were able to scrounge together some money and find some coaches that knew better than they did. You said they helped me a lot, but not really on the field. My dad, I remember playing catch when we all first realized I liked baseball and was good at it. He literally went and bought a How to Pitch for Dummies book, and we were out in my front yard. He's like, "All right, so you step back with your left leg, no left leg, and turn." So humble beginnings.
That's good.
If I just be more of an outlier guy that's always thrown hard, there's a guy like Roldis Chapman, an outlier guy. You've largely been healthy, so is he. Is there anything that you feel like you or Chapman have done to kind of stay healthy within throwing max effort for so long?
You're also talking to a guy like Tommy John, not ironically after the
rehab. I know.
Well, not just that. I think this goes back to how my mentality changed as a pitcher. I went from throwing. You look back at before 2015-16, and I was throwing 93, 92, 93 early in games, and if I needed to go to the well and hit 100, I could late in games, but I certainly wasn't throwing 100 every pitch. the game dictated that I needed to try to throw harder almost every pitch. So my average velocity jumped up, because my intent jumped up, and I had to look for swing and miss. And I don't know how long you can do that as a starter. That might have had something to do with it, but I think the ability to naturally do it is a large part of it. I mean, I think you look at individuals, and everybody's built different. You look at Aroldis' mechanics versus my mechanics, and they're just vastly different, but can both throw triple digits, or used to be able to. For myself, he still can. But it's like, it's like the gait of a horse. Like there's some horses that have been the best in the world at their time, and they don't run the same as some of the other best horses after their generation. It's like and this is kind of, again, one of the things that I nitpick a little bit with mechanical tweaks too early on in a development process is you got to find your own gait, man. You got to find your own way to throw a baseball, and if that naturally leads you to being able to throw hard and have success, great. If not, you meet an ends road in your career, whatever that may be, high school, Division I, minor leagues, AAA, big leagues. If you reach that end of the path and you need help, then you go help. Then you go find ways to throw harder and make yourself do it because you want to reach that next level, but not before.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
Thank you.